Welcome back, new viewers and gamers. It is time for a new episode of the Mega Man X7 playthrough, and today we're going on over to the Palace Road. So let's take X with the glide armor and 0 and begin. And off screen I got the rest of the weapon tanks, or not the weapon tanks, the sub-tank as well as the weapon energy tank. Now you see this little level over here, this looks kind of familiar. Well, maybe not the level itself, but the boss over here that we're running away from looks very similar to a certain mechanoid we knew from a previous game. I think y'all can guess which one that is. That's right, the one from our Armadillo stage from X1. More X1 pandering. And it's one of those auto-scroller levels. This is very fun. It's just the entire stage for the most part. Just don't get hit by him, that's pretty much all you have to do while we run into more enemies from X1. Well, I'd say the best piece of advice, and hopefully you don't have Joy-Con drift as me playing on the Switch version. Ow. Just make sure you don't have any Joy-Con drift. I'm getting hit. You gotta avoid these things, but that's fine. I'm gonna have 0 deal with this. Alright, and now we're already on to the second part of the stage, where this time we're on an auto-scroller vertically rather than horizontally. And like I mentioned earlier, got the weapon sub-tank as well as the sub-tank itself. There will be some gaps that you have to try and avoid as well, so do be careful of that. Like, the objective of this is to try and stay in front of the mechanoid, but you don't want to be too far or else you'll end up falling off the edge. Which just kind of drags down the level even further, I'd argue. And I died somehow. And for some reason it's spinning. Why is it taunting me? If that happens again, we'll just put on rookie mode for a split second, because, frankly, I don't feel like doing this over again. And when we get to the boss fight against this thing, I'll bring up the glide armor like I did in the previous episode. And my opinions of it, because it's definitely not the worst of the armors in any of the X games. Too bad, design-wise it's actually pretty cool, and it's got some practicality in its weapon usage. Albeit, compared to previous armors like the Ultimate Armor, the First Armor, the Second Armor, etc., it's a little underwhelming, I'd say. I think they want us to use X's glide armor for that. Either that or Axel's glide ability. Right about now. And fun enough, you use X's glide ability differently from Axel, where Axel, once you're in the air, you can hold B. For X, once you're in the air, you gotta press B again, which is a little weird, but whatever. And this, like I mentioned before, its design is actually pretty decent, the armor I mean. Only some people say that X's hand should be red instead of white. It would contrast with the rest of it better. I personally think that the arm should be blue instead, or the hands, I mean, should be a bit blue instead. I think that would contrast a little bit better with the rest of the armor, but otherwise, design-wise, it's a pretty decent armor. It's not the most useful of any of the armor sets, but it's up there. I'd give it like a C tier or something if I ever made a tier list of the Mega Man X armors. And I jumped off an edge and didn't even realize it. Wait, where'd I go? That's what I mean. Rookie mode, I don't care. Because this part drags on for quite a bit, and you will fall quite a few times. Once we're on to the boss fight, I'll take it off rookie mode. Because otherwise, like I mentioned before, this is going to drag on for way too long. It's worth noting that you also can't damage this thing either, at least during this phase. Would have been cool if you could, like, slow it down from time to time or something, but nope. Just all running away from it. Can't you tell I'm having a little trouble finding things to say about this? Yeah, because there isn't really much to go off of. Other than just another garbage level in a garbage game. And for some reason this thing can float over gaps. Why can it do that? I don't know. Boy, imagine if we could do that back in X1. Oh boy. And that's always been a little problem with auto-scrollers as well. Like, remember when I jumped down this hole just a few minutes ago? How was I supposed to know that was coming? I ended up kind of dashing right into that hole, too. Like, the stage encourages you to go decently fast, but not too fast, or that happens. You kind of see the hole right there a little late in anyways. By the time the mechanoid's about halfway through the screen, that's when that hole shows up, making it even harder to avoid. Yeah, this hole right over here. And it encourages you to try and get that. I think what they wanted you to do, again, using X or Axel's glide ability, to get that little energy pickup there. But too much going on screen with this thing and all those enemies and those other obstacles sitting there for you to really, you know, want to get that. I could at least get that, I guess. Couldn't get the other power-up, though. And now here comes the boss fight. Off-rookie mode, because we got through the hard part. Now for the boss fight. Been a while since I've done this, actually, powered this playthrough, but already done quite a bit of damage to it. I don't think it has any particular weaknesses, at least not that I know of. Other than it's really fast. I guess you can only damage his head as well. Oh. He's got a beam attack. Ow. Alright, he's only about halfway. Ow. God damn. Alright, Zero, get in here. Alright, moving wheel. That did nothing. Ow, oh my god. Alright, switching to X. Why don't we eat up one of our weapon energies? I keep calling it weapon energy, it's energy tank. And it can shoot saws at me for some reason. That can be pretty easily destroyed, actually. And down it goes. Alright, going to stage select. Because that was the first stage of the final area. Investigate this behemoth, determine the threat level, and destroy it. Gee, I wonder who that is. You could never guess who that is. Nope, not at all. Alright, here's one of the few 2D segments in this game. Alright, and here's the one part of the stage where you can actually use the ducking ability to its advantage, which is just poor game design when this is the only part a certain, whatchamacallit is even used. A certain feature is even used. I kind of like that X-Zero and Axel are actually stare at the rock going over them. That's a nice touch, though. Nice little bit of immersion. Oh. The stupid Met won't die. Alright, are we still in rookie mode? No, we're not. Just making sure. Alright, and then this rock will slowly come over the hole. You don't get damaged. Jeez, could that rock move any slower? Goddamn. Anyways. And another one. Alright, there's only a certain height we can go for that. I guess there's no avoiding it. Fine, I just damage boost instead. Alright, here we go. And for this entire fight, I'm gonna have the rookie mode on. And you'll see why.
So, what took you so long?
Well, if it isn't Red, long time no see.
We've advanced, thanks to the professor. But we've still been reduced to this.
Well, that explains it. And where is this professor now?
Like always, I have no idea. Probably closer than we think.
Gotcha. I'll be on my guard.
Well, I know you didn't come here just to talk. Shall we get things started?
Yes, we shall get things started, Red. And like I mentioned before, putting on rookie mode because this fight is very, very poorly designed. I think the first thing you've noticed about this fight is that we're above a bottomless pit. And Red also has a ginormous health bar. Isn't that just swell? So you fall even once, you die. And that's why I have this on rookie mode. Call me bad at the game all you want, I am not doing this over and over again the second I make even the slightest mistake. Alright, he does clone himself as well and has many ranged attacks. I didn't want to switch there, but who cares? And this is another attack that's actually really annoying to dodge, though decently telecrafted. You also don't really have much space to move when you have to deal with some of these ranged attacks, so yeah, do remember that. He's got clones. And I still got hit by that. I don't care, damage boost.
I'm not through yet.
Over here!
Alright, I'm gonna have Zero handle some of this. He teleports all around the goddamn place too, kind of making them hard to track. Alright, he is pretty close to death though. And that's what I meant, accidentally fell there. Had I not been in rookie mode, I would have died. That somehow didn't hit him. What? Whatever. Alright, now he's dead. And I kinda like his death cry. Good job! Really not a good boss fight. Over a bottomless pit, and it's really hard to dodge a lot of his attacks because you barely have any space. Good game design.
You hear that? This place is done for. I set it to self-destruct. in case of an emergency.
No! Red, you're coming with us!
That voice delivery. No, Red, you're coming with us!
Come on! You can still make it!
Stop it. Hurry up, or we'll be buried here too.
Axel, he's right. It's my time. Let me go first. You're still young. No need to rush.
And with that being said, Red is dead.
Ready?
And now, time for the boss graveyard, everyone's favorite. They give us a full restore to begin with. Alright, let's take this off rookie mode for some of these boss fights.
Ready?
Alright, we got ourselves a nice big Gundam machine. Right over here. We gotta shoot these guys. And just like, well, unlike other Mega Man X games where they don't just have all the bosses lined up, you actually have to go through certain segments before you can fight each boss again. Which, I mean, on one hand is pretty decent, but on the other hand, it's in a game like X7. Why the hell would you want to do all these trials? I mean, it's kind of just like Mega Man and Base, another infamously bad Mega Man game, or at least a lot of people think is bad. Where instead of fighting the boss outright, you gotta go through some sort of stage layout first. And here as it is right over here. Just kill all these guys first. Yep, I'm just one big damage sponge for you guys to take down. There's nothing I really have to do here. I can shoot missiles though, that's pretty cool. And down goes the last one.
Ready?
We're not at a boss graveyard yet, it looks like. Still got some enemies to deal with. And more nostalgia pandering. These are very similar to the Doggo boss from X1 that Sigma was using. That's very similar to the hot dog enemy from Mega Man 2.
Ready?
Alright, so forget what I said about us being at a boss graveyard. Clearly I was wrong. Great placement. There's no way to get past the two of those. Screw Zero, it's up to you. Fuck it, I can go under him, it doesn't matter. Come on, what did I just get hit with? What? Okay, with the fire, I think. How? I got hit by absolutely nothing there. Alright, hold up. Before I die from those spikes, since that was cheap. Wait a minute, I can't climb on this thing? That's such bullshit. Yeah, that makes no sense that I can't jump on that. Then how do you expect me to get over it? The game, up to this point, has taught me that I can ride on these things, and some of them I just can't ride on, really? It makes no sense.
Ready?
Alright, now we're at the boss graveyard. A literal graveyard, too. They have tombstones.
It's up to you.
Alright, so who shall we fight first? Whoever the hell happens to be here, and don't worry, if we run into Flame Ironheart, I'll turn off my Elgato. Because a lot of these bosses, they're gonna take a while. Alright, Vanishing Gunguru, I'm gonna show off the Spark Mandrill syndrome I was mentioning in the first episode. And the wonderful boss music is back. You know, one thing that Vanishing Gunguru's fight kind of reminds me of, though this game came later? Well, this game came before Mega Man 11, and it kind of reminds me of the Blockman fight in that game. Where once you get a Blockman's HP to a certain threshold, he'll turn into a giant robot, and in this case it's kind of the opposite, where he starts out as a giant robot before going into his little form, or if that makes sense. Well, Vanishing Gunguru will start out in his right armor, and then go into the little form, as you see here. Alright, now, time to talk about that Spark Mandrill syndrome. We need Woodcutter. If you hit him with it, he makes a really funny noise. You know, if you just stand the frick still, there we go. If you keep hitting him with that, he literally won't be able to do anything. Too bad, apparently I suck at trying to hit him with it. Whatever. No, I really like the noise he makes when he gets hit with that. Bro, sounds like he's in some agony pain. Oh. One thing is, Vanishing Gunguru is another one of those bosses where if he's off-screen, you really can't see what he's doing. Like, right now, like how he's off-screen right here. The lock-on mechanic doesn't even work when he's off-screen either. See, look at that. Alright, rookie mode, before I die. Excuse me, I don't want to redo that phase. But, like I always do at the end of the Mega Man X games, ranking how much I like each Maverick, and I'll do the same with the Robot Masters when I eventually play the classic games. Vanishing Gunguru, other than his slightly annoying-ish voice, pretty decent boss fight, I think. Alright, how much energy? Oh, full. Nice. Use them. And, I kinda like that he's like a boxing kangaroo motif. His weapon is very lackluster, though. And his weakness, albeit very hard to hit him with it, is pretty funny. Yeah, give him like a 7 out of 10. He's not half bad. Not like how he starts out as fighting a right armor. Next part of the boss graveyard. Alright, let's go to 0 for this one. Well, we're not going to be using Windcutter for the rest of this. No need to have that equipped anymore. Who happens to be at this part? Hey, it's Tornado Tanyan. No, seriously, guys, what the hell is a Tanyan? I don't know. Alright, he's spinning towards me. And ranking this boss here, aside from how long this boss fight takes under normal circumstances, it's not a bad boss fight, though it's a little tedious, and his attacks are extremely highly telecrafted. I mean, every Mega Man game needs that one very easy boss fight to kind of ease you into the game and get you started with the weakness chain. Like, every Mega Man game needs that one boss, whether it's a fan-made game, an official game made by Capcom, or whatever, but Tornado Tanyan just happens to be the easy boss of this game, I'd say. And his design is stupid, I guess. Bro just looked like a fat pumpkin. Almost looks like a rejected Pixar villain. Almost. And his weapon, pretty damn good weapon, actually. Kinda wish he did a bit more in his boss fight than just twirl towards you. But yeah, 5 out of 10. His voice is actually pretty funny, I think. Many other people will not think the same way, but I think that voice is funny. You know what they say, no funny, but I tried so hard, so hard! And I kinda wish you could have the interactions again with the Mavericks here, but I guess it makes sense that you don't have to watch those again. It would be really redundant otherwise. But yeah, I'll give him a 5 out of 10. He's average, let's just say. And I still don't know what the hell a Tanyan is. And this attack is just way too easy to telegraph. It should have had something different on it. I kind of wish this attack over here had some sort of a vacuum effect that tries to suck in the player. That would have definitely made that attack a little harder to avoid. I accidentally dashed into that. I did not want to do that. Like, I feel like that attack just needs to be a little faster, I think. It's just way too easily telecrafted. And like I mentioned earlier in the game, his weakness being Gaia Shield. And why don't we use charged Gaia Shield against him? I'll take the hit, it doesn't matter. Too bad it completely missed him, and that's why I don't like using that weapon against him. Just because it's really hard to hit him with it. Most of the time it's just better to use the Charge Buster, it does so much damage. You know, if you can actually hit the damn thing. Also, this lags the game to hell, and by the way, I'm playing this on the Switch version, not on the Xbox One version or the PS4 version. Or, you know, the original Xbox, or the original PS2 version. It just happens to lag like this. On greater hardware, it should not be lagging like that, but it does anyways. Down you go, Tornado Tanyan. I didn't like it, yeah, you're right, I didn't. Oh, there's still 6 more of these guys to go, so we're not through with the worst of it, sadly. Alright, so those 2 are down. Who happens to be here? Oh boy. Y'all gonna hate me for this, so I'm turning off the Elgato because I already know you guys don't want to listen to this voice. But anyways, I'm gonna switch to 0 for a split second so we can jump up here. Once we're done with this fight, as usual, I'll turn my Elgato right back on. So, Flame Heinard. I like his design, I'll be honest. His weapon's actually pretty decent, far from the worst fire weapon we've ever had in a Mega Man game. Whether we're talking about the X Series, Zero Series, or Classic Series. Or even some of the other RPG series. And why don't we switch to Splash Laser? Right over here. I really wish it didn't have such high iframes on it, and completely resets his damage values. Not his damage values, but his attack pattern. And you gotta go through this long-ass segment each and every time. I'd say get him a mid-charge shots, that's probably the best thing to do. If you can actually hit him with them. Come on, you jackass, you're being rude. Well, like I mentioned, his design's fine. This boss fight is so bad that it's good for many reasons. Again, I get it's one of the most hated Mega Man boss fights, and I see why. And even then, I give him, just because I like his design and his weapon, 4 stars. That's about it, and some of his voice lines are actually kind of funny. Otherwise, I definitely see why people dislike this guy so much. Makes a lot of sense. It's not even the only one of the worst bosses in all Mega Man. He's one of the worst bosses of all time in any video game, period. And I generally don't blame people for thinking that. It's time to reset that little chain of yours. And I immediately get hit with that attack. I do not know how to avoid it. And that's one, you know what, I might lower it to a 3.5 out of 10, because this fight could really drag on for a bit, more so than any other fight in this game. And that's honestly all I have to really say here. I mean, I guess the giant hyena we happen to be fighting on is pretty cool, I guess. Alright, I'm about to, actually, now we could go a little longer. Alright, now we should use the weapon energy. I keep calling it the weapon energy, it's the sub-energy. And like I mentioned, the one that's always in the front is always the real one. I don't know why a Flame Hunter can clone himself, I mentioned that 2 episodes ago, but whatever. Because I didn't know hyenas can clone themselves, but like I mentioned before, I think that's just based on how hyenas tend to fight in packs. Despite being a hyena, he doesn't really make cackling noises like hyenas are, you know, meant to do. Or known for doing, I should say. Makes me wonder why we haven't had a Maverick based on a lion yet or something. Alright, let him jump back over here again. I guess that's how, well, that attack's easier to dodge than when they attack you all at once. You know, like that. Still don't know how to dodge that. I'm switching to 0. This lock-on mechanic is not working for this. Alright, Flame Harnard's almost down. And down you go. Let me turn back on my Elgato for you guys. There you go. And only 5 of them to go. Alright, fully healed. And who's next to die? Alright, who happens to be in here? Alright, it's when Crowrang. I didn't get to show off his weakness when we fought him, so why don't we do that here? Because just like the Buster Shot, the sniper missile can hit him in the background. I think. Maybe not, I might have been wrong about that. Look at me, Wind Crowrang, I can fly now. Alright, let's try to jump over that attack. That's the best way to dodge it, I think. So, Wind Crowrang. I mean, he's no Storm Eagle, and Storm Eagle's always the cool one. But he's actually pretty decent in my opinion, got a pretty cool weapon. And he's got a pretty decent attack pattern. His stage set's ass, though, I'll give you that. So, and also his dialogue's pretty funny. I want you, she! I can't take that line seriously for the life of me. Unintentional rhyme is unintentional, but I don't care. Anyways, I'd give him maybe a 7 out of 10. He's actually pretty decent. Again, he'll never be as cool as Storm Eagle, but hey. Not everybody can be him, you know? I guess he has a partial weakness to the Buster part there. Alright, let's switch back to 0 so we can jump over this attack. ask her a damage boost and it's fine. Am I still in rookie mode? Oh, no, I'm not. Because I'm taking suspiciously little damage. Like, sometimes the attacks will hit me like freight trains, other times they'll barely do anything. I'm just realizing that. Alright, but Wind Current Ring is almost down. And down he goes. We're one of the worst death cries I've ever heard. Alright, once again we heal. And now let's see what other boss happens to be on that other side. Snipe Anti-Tor. Well, other than him trying really hard to not be funny, this boss fight is kind of adding me. I feel like there could have been a little bit more with this boss fight, but there just isn't. I mean, he can travel along the little cylinder path over here, but you can't, I think is a little, dumb design. His weakness being Moving Wheel, I guess kind of works with how his arena works. And you can actually give a pretty decent lore jump if you're using Zero, but otherwise... And his name being spelled wrong is... I hope that's how it's spelled wrong, and that's not how it's actually supposed to be spelled, though. I actually doubt it. It's supposed to be spelled Anti-Tor, not Anti-Dur, for whatever reason. I don't know. Now, so what's this added part of his body, anyways? That's a part of his abdomen or something? I don't get it. The drones are kind of hard to dodge as well. And, I mean, just like any other character in this game, the voice lines are actually kind of funny, like, I missed her! Just some funny things to think about. So, and his weapon is pretty decent, though. It's just a discount homing torpedo or search, or, not search. Dive missile or home sniper, depending if we're looking at the classic or the X games, whatever. And he's an alright challenge, I guess. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. He's okay, he's okay. I'd still use him over frickin' Cyber Peacock from X4, probably one of my least favorite things about the game that I actually really like. I'm gonna use Zero for this one. Alright, X can handle this as well. I kinda wish there was a way you could destroy his drones as well, but you can't do that. And down goes Snipe Anteater. Excuse me, Snipe Anti-Tor. Alright. And now we're done with about 5 of those bosses. How much HP does Zero have? He's got a decent amount. Moving on. Who happens to be here? Alright, Ryan Bolarski. Alright, other than the fact that he looks like he could be a Transformers villain, perhaps, like a member of the Decepticons, kinda looks like he could also be from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like a weird mix of that, both a Ninja Turtles villain and a Transformers villain. I could see it both. Otherwise, his weapon just discounts Spin Wheel, that's kind of eh, but will way less functionality with it. His voice, again, like most voices in this game, pretty funny. His stage sucks ass. Big Cheese, I'm the head honcho for crying out loud. And I like how he just tells X that he's gone too far for calling his gang a motorcycle gang. I mean, I don't get it, that's kind of what they are. I don't see why he would be so offended by that. But whatever. He's also one of the easier boss fights in this game, I'd argue. I mean, not as easy as Tanyan Boy, but still. I'm just hitting him half-charge shots? Oh. Oh! I took like 4 hits right there. But anyways, as usual, his weakness is the Circle Blaze. It's on to hear the famous line. And I guess he was immune to it there. Oh. Okay, really? God, that attack is so annoying. Holy moly, I had to do it. That thing is so funny. And I believe if Zero tries to use Circle Blaze, he has to punch the ground like that. And there's him using his moving wheel weapon. And just some of his other voice clips I think are funny. So, Ryborski, pretty decent name, pretty cool design, and a bunch of other things going on. Maybe my favorite Maverick in the game, actually. He's not half bad. I'd give him 8 out of 10, why the hell not? Aside from that annoying ass attack in his garbage stage, decent guy. Though don't call his gang a motorcycle gang, he really hates that. Anyways, only 2 more Mavericks remain. That being Splash Warfly, and who's the other one? Oh, we'll just do this one first. A Soldier Stone Kong, that's right. Alright, and here he is. Now this guy, other than looking like a Donkey Kong character, I could seriously see him being in a Donkey Kong game or something, or in that really bad Donkey Kong cartoon. Like, if you're telling me this guy originated out of the Donkey Kong cartoon, I'd believe you. Alright, we know how to dodge this attack. Fairly easy attack to dodge. He does have a melee attack with his sword, but you can destroy his sword pretty quickly to the point where you probably won't be able to see it. If I remember correctly, his weakness is Explosion. I mean, he's the second boss we fought in this game, so I should remember that. He's gonna tell me to dodge that, I didn't dodge it. And we destroyed his sword. I mean, he's got a decent design, but this is another one of the easier boss fights in this game. Just because his attacks are so heavily telecrafted like this one. Like, I wish his attacks were just a bit faster. I mean, it makes sense they're kind of slow. He's a big hulking guy. Wouldn't make much sense for a big hulking guy to be so fast, you know? And I do kind of like how unique his boss fight is, where it takes place on a circular arena. Kind of reminds me of the Wispy Woods fight from Kirby 64. But much less fun. His weapon guy's shield sucks ass. It's trying to be another Mirror Buster or Guard Shell, but it sucks. Like, really bad. And his charge version, probably one of the worst charge weapons in any Mega Man X game. So, and his stage is okay too, I guess. Though a lot of his enemies are serious damage sponges. But anyway, Soldier Stone Kong, 6, 7 out of 10, like 6.5 out of 10, I think is pretty decent. If his stage were better and his weapon were better and his boss fight wasn't so easy, I'd give it like an easy 8. Maybe a 9, depends on how the execution would have been. Alright, now finally Splash Warfly. Definitely probably the hardest Maverick I'd say in this game. Alright, and like I mentioned earlier in the game, his weakness is Volt Tornado. Now why don't we try to go on the other platforms, because he won't go on them unless you go on them first. I should have mentioned that in the episode where we fought him. But yeah, that's how that works. Also, one of my favorite pastimes, play Battleship with Splash Warfly. Alright, let's use Volt Tornado to deal with him. And the noise he makes when he gets hit by it, I've mentioned it before, I'll mention it again, is very funny. You can always fly over him to dodge his attacks a bit easier. They are nicely telecrafted, but man, is he fast with it. I think one more good attack and I'm using a sub-tank. Not like how he goes over here. Alright, Zero can handle this. And goodbye, Splash Warfly, and that's all 8 Mavericks. Alright, switching back to X. And now we can go into this little portal over here.
All right, we know you're in there, so come on out, Professor.
Professor.
Thanks for coming by, fellas. This way I can face you in the comfort of my own home.
And boy, wonder who this guy is. Yes, I know, I shouldn't hide it anymore. It's Big Bad Sigma. He's back for the 7th goddamn time.
So,
Technically 9th time if you count Extreme 1 and Extreme 2.
You never give up, do you? Even when we break you down to scraps, you always come back.
That's right, folks. I'll do it again and again. I will make X and
Oh, that's just
Zero
wrong. You'll make X and 0 yours.
get me. Give me a good fight.
Alright, here's where we fight Sigma, but we're gonna save that for the next episode. With that being said, let us just pause here, and he's got a really long health bar, but we'll mention that later on in the finale of this series. Anyways, if y'all enjoyed this edition of the Mega Man X7 playthrough and you want to see more, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and follow. Hit one of the videos you see on screen enough on YouTube, hit that bell button for more. Also consider becoming a YouTube member for $3 a month and a Twitch subscriber for $6 a month for wonderful things such as an ad-free experience. As well, what did you like and dislike about this video? Also consider answering the question today in the link in the description below. And video sponsored by W once again. Anyways, let us end this off with a quick raid for those of you on Twitch. Alright, let's see who else is playing a Mega Man X game. Alright, nobody else playing X7. Let's see if anybody I'm normally following is live. Give them some love and support. Yeah, that's right, awesome Jess. She happens to be playing my Sims. Send your unwavering love and support. Alright, and thank you all for watching. Have a terrific day.